From Fangs to Forgotten Fame, the conception story of the Viper Defender.
The Defender was the star car of the 90s television series Viper, which premiered on NBC in 1994 before being retooled and returning to airwaves 2 years later, running for 3 additional seasons in first-run syndication. James McCaffrey returned for the final season alongside a new street mode Viper GTS coupe.
Viper has been my favorite show since it first aired on NBC in 1994. My father was a huge Mopar enthusiast and still is, and he recorded the episodes. The moment I first saw the Defender on screen, I was hooked. At the time, I wasn't aware of Knight Rider, so this was my first introduction to a high-tech car drama. Fast forward to 2010, a stunt car appeared at a Mecum auction, claimed to be a hero car with its V10 removed. This is untrue, and we'll clear that up in this video. Over the years, much misinformation about the Defender has surfaced online. This video will set the record straight. Through never-before public documents and interviews with the people responsible for the Defender's conception, we'll uncover the real story.
Chapter 1. The Paramount Pitch, 1992.
In late 1992, a meeting took place at Chrysler between John Pike, Carrie McCluggage, Andrea Helm, Danny Bilson, Paul DeMaio, and Scott Vila. The purpose? To pitch a TV series centered around the Dodge Viper to Chrysler. McCluggage, known for his work on Knight Rider, envisioned a Knight Rider for the 90s. To bring this vision to life, he called in the creative team of Danny Bilson and Paul DeMaio. The consensus was clear. The Dodge Viper was to be the star of the show. During the Paramount pitch to Chrysler, McCluggage's experience with Knight Rider was highlighted as a key selling point. Chrysler accepted the offer from Paramount, and in November 1992, they issued an official document stating Viper to be the name of the new CBS primetime series. Chrysler's design office will render, design, and build one prototype of the Morph Viper. Chrysler will maintain ownership of the Morph design. The Viper team will donate 2 1992 non-certifiable prototypes. Additionally, Chrysler made it clear that a guarantee that the real Viper and Morph will always be on the good guy's side. Neither Viper will be made to look or act like a cartoon vehicle. Tom Gale, creator of the original Viper RT10, volunteered to design and build the Morph version. His primary goal? To ensure that the Morph Viper maintained the true essence of the Dodge Viper. Interestingly, Paramount was initially unaware of just how deeply Chrysler would be involved in the process.
Chapter 2. From Paper to Clay. Steve Ferrario was born in Newark, New Jersey, but grew up in Texas. By 1980, he moved to Michigan, and in 1983, he joined Chrysler. 10 years later, in January 93, Ferrario won a Chrysler design contest to create the new primetime action star car, the Morph Viper. Ferrario wanted the Morph to feel more animalistic than the standard street version of the Viper. He drew inspiration from National Geographic and studied Viper's snakes. Some of his early sketches look like they could have fought in Desert Storm, cited from a 1994 Michigan newspaper article.
From the time the show's producers approached Chrysler with the plotline in January, the company took over 11 weeks to design and deliver a radically modified Viper to fit the program's theme.
Ferrario had 2 different visions of the Defender. One was a sketch featuring a spoiler integrated into the rear quarter panel, a large rear window, and a red color scheme. While this early version made it to the clay model stage, Ferrario wasn't satisfied and pushed for his original vision. Design director Neil Walling wanted to try a different detail from an earlier sketch. The Defender's original clay mock-up's rear quarter panel and rear end were different from the final version. They deviated from an integrated spoiler to a separate one.
The side view sketch that Paramount chose for the theme direction, the rear spoiler, really hadn't been resolved. Other sketches were done that showed the rear spoiler theme as seen on the top view sketch. That was applied to the theme sketch on the clay model for a period of time, but was removed after I lobbied for a more technical, straightforward approach.
Once the clay model was finalized, a Viper RT10 chassis was stretched by 13 to 15 inches to accommodate the Morph design. Chapter 2.5. From Clay to V10 Beast.
Enter Don Stout. Born in Detroit, Michigan, the birthplace of some of the greatest cars ever built. Stout began working in prototype shops in 1978. By 1986, he was at Aero North, where he eventually became the general manager. Stout and his team at Aero North in Madison Heights were responsible for building the operational V-10 Defenders. According to Stout, the project was a labor of love, with nearly the entire Aero North team involved, not just the 10 people often credited. The Defender was built without blueprints, and yet Aero North delivered 2 fully functional, operational cars, 5 full bodies, and the vehicle mold with astonishing speed. The metal shop initially used hydraulics for the car's retractable weaponry, but production concerns over potential leaks forced a last-minute switch to pneumatics. They also needed pneumatics for production for multiple shots due to reliability concerns. The Defender's drive shaft was completely custom, and a compressor was installed behind the driver's seat to power the car's mechanical features. Aero North was responsible for the rotating interior screens seen in the pilot and other NBC season episodes. Notably, this was the first time Aero North had worked with neon tube lighting. Both the headlights and taillights were neon, making the Defender unique in its appearance. The wheels were fully custom, laser cut for the Defender. Michelin specifically built larger rear tires just for the car. A man named Larry test drove the first Defender behind Aero North's facility. Stout provided a video of the second car's test drive. Initially, only the driver's side pod was functional, but the car needed to be shipped for filming, so they sent it as is. Once the Defender arrived in California, Bill Shermer put the Defender in working order, making the side pods both fully operational. Bill put elastic socks around the battering rams and side pods to cover the mechanics. The Defender was fully operational. Both cars came equipped with 2 Chrysler V10 supplied engines. Whether these were prototype or pre-production engines remains unknown. Perhaps most impressively, the Defender's exhaust sound in the series is completely real.
Was that a take or was that a real?
That would be
It's a horrible take.
The actual cars built in Michigan were recorded for use in the show. While some rumors suggest the exhaust system was a 3-inch custom setup with Flowmaster Series 40s, without seeing the original beauty car, this remains unconfirmed. The cars were 6-speed manual transmissions and were often described as tanks.
Get in the car and drive!
Me?
You!
She took driving lessons before we started, and she was throwing those cars around with the e-brake. Driving the Defender was like driving a combo tank and race car. The view was extremely limited, as I recall, but Heather will give more perspective, I'm sure.
Before we started filming in Calgary, we had the privilege of driving the Defender on a closed track. It was an incredible experience. We were driving the car to test its limits. The picture car coordinator reassured me many times that the Defender was unflippable and that I should go as fast as I could and crank the wheel hard. My first donuts. It was really fun. The Defender felt very much like a tank. You can't see out of the back, and the front window is very small.
Hey, Cole, you know what?
Yeah.
I could get used to this.
Well, please don't.
While recording the Defender's exhaust in LA, the sound department couldn't believe how amazing it was for sound and look. The car had a presence that no car had.
Scrapped features.
Documents reveal several features that never made it into the final Defender, including the driver's seat and command console will rotate 180 degrees within the cockpit. This allows the car to be driven backwards without actually turning the car around. An air brake would retract to bring the car to a sudden stop. This is why the spoiler pops up. Bright lights in the rear hatch or spoiler meant to blind trailing pursuers. A recent development, a script that was not made, not filmed for Viper has emerged since this documentary was in making. The script features the blinding lights mentioned, the episode titled Blood and Iron.
Chapter 3. The Mystery of the V10 Beauty Defenders.
As much as we'd like to believe these iconic cars are still out there, The whereabouts of the two V10 Beauty Defenders remains a mystery. Over the years, rumors have swirled, and one of the most intriguing claims was that the Peterson Museum was once offered one of the V10 Viper Defenders. After some research, I reached out to the museum for confirmation, and this is the response I received.
The production company approached the museum to ask if we wanted to accept a Viper as a donation, but withdrew the offer when they learned that we were prohibited from accepting gifts with conditions, such as those that stipulated the vehicle would never be driven or sold. Our chief historian Leslie Kendall has no knowledge of what might have become of the car after that, but it is likely that it was destroyed in order to obviate any future liability issues. To the best of his knowledge, he remembers the offer coming to the museum in the mid-1990s.
Though it's disappointing, it's also a possible indication of why we haven't seen these cars resurface in public. If the car was destroyed, it's understandable that it would have been kept under wraps to avoid any future issues. But we still hold out hope. Many fans of the show, along with some of the people involved in the series, believe that the Beauty Defender still exists, whether it's tucked away in a private collection or stored somewhere deep within the vaults of Paramount. There's always a chance it will surface again one day. We hope one day to relive those childhood moments when we first saw that sleek, futuristic car tear through the streets. So here's to hoping that one day we get another chance to experience the thrill of the Viper Defender in all its glory.
That wraps up the story of the Viper Defender's conception. But there's more. In an upcoming video, we'll discuss the unique movie car's Defender that was recently sold. I was lucky enough to see this car in person, and through research, the Big Four Viper fans have uncovered details unknown to most fans. Please, stay tuned.